We often think about AI, artificial intelligence, in ways that feel kind of familiar now, don't we? Like the voice assistant on your phone, maybe.
Or the thing that suggests what movie you should watch next. Yeah.
Exactly. But what's honestly pretty astonishing is where AI is actually showing up now in really unexpected places.
Yeah,
And it's happening fast.
it really is. And that's kind of the heart of what we wanted to dig into with this deep dive. We've gathered, well, a whole bunch of different sources.
Uh-huh.
Things like industry reports, academic papers, news articles, even looked at a YouTube discussion transcript just to give you a clear picture of how varied and surprising AI's uses have actually become.
Right. So our mission today, it's pretty straightforward, actually. We wanted to unpack some of these, let's say, less obvious uses,
Hmm.
pull out the key ideas from all this material we looked at, and, lay it out for you in a way that's interesting, makes you think.
But without drowning you in like super technical jargon.
Exactly. Give
Yeah.
you the essentials.
Yeah.
Okay. So should we dive in?
Let's do it. Yeah, we all kind of know about AI in our phones. Maybe you hear about self-driving cars, that sort of thing.
Right. The usual suspects.
But what really jumped out from the sources is how AI is moving into fields you'd probably never guess.
Okay. Like what? Let's start with one that really made me pause. AI in beekeeping. I mean,
Ah,
really, beekeeping.
I know, right? But it's fascinating. It shows how AI can bring like a whole new level of understanding to something humans have done for literally thousands of years.
How does that even work?
Well, one of our sources, DataForce, explains it. They're using AI with sensors and machine learning to actually monitor the health of bee colonies.
So it's watching the bees.
In a way, yeah.
Mm.
But it's more about analyzing the data from the hive. It helps beekeepers understand what's going on inside. It's like data-driven optimization for an ancient practice.
Okay, so we're not talking about robot bees or anything like that.
Uh-huh, no, definitely not robot bees. It's about giving the human beekeepers better tools, better information. These systems, they can pick up on early signs of disease, even detect chemical threats in the environment.
Wow.
Huh.
That can make a huge difference for hive health, couldn't it? Especially with all the concerns about pollinators.
Exactly. It helps protect these vital little creatures. It's a really powerful example of tech, augmenting traditional skills, not replacing them.
Augmenting, I like that. From ancient agriculture to cutting-edge AI. Okay, let's shift gears completely. Another area that sounds, well, a bit unusual. AI in spiritual and religious studies.
Yeah, this one definitely makes you think, doesn't it, about technology meeting something so deeply human, so spiritual for many people.
So what's the angle here? Is AI writing sermons?
Not quite. DataForce was the source on this too. It's more about analysis. Researchers are using AI to comb through huge volumes of religious texts.
Okay. Looking for what?
Patterns, recurring themes, things that might be hard for a human researcher to spot across, vast amounts of writing. The idea is it could lead to new interpretations, maybe new insights.
Huh. New interpretations of ancient texts generated by an algorithm. That's a lot to wrap your head around.
It really is. It raises some pretty deep questions,
Mhm.
about algorithms interpreting human experience and how technology might, shape even our spiritual lives.
Could it actually help understanding between religions?
That's one of the potential applications mentioned. By finding common patterns or themes, maybe it could foster dialogue.
Interesting.
And get this, DataForce actually cited a statistic. Apparently, using AI suggestions to improve spiritual content led to a 15% increase in user engagement somewhere.
15%. That's
Oh.
not insignificant.
No, it's quite a jump.
It certainly makes you think about how we interact with faith and spirituality in this digital age.
Mhm.
And yeah, those big questions about consciousness, tech, our inner selves, it touches all of that.
Absolutely. Okay, let's bring it back down to earth a bit, maybe. A community-focused application, AI in public libraries.
Libraries. Okay, another one I wouldn't immediately connect with AI, maybe cataloging.
Well, yes, but it goes way beyond that. Think about how libraries themselves are changing, right? Adapting to the digital world.
It's true. They're not just dusty book repositories anymore.
Exactly. So DataForce, again here, they outline how AI and machine learning are being used to personalize the learning experience.
How so?
By looking at your reading history, your stated interests, AI can give you much better, much more tailored book recommendations. It's like having a librarian who knows your tastes inside out.
Okay, that sounds genuinely useful. I could use that.
Right. But it's more than just book suggestions. A lot of libraries are using AI-powered chatbots now.
Chatbots in the library. For what?
to help with research questions, answer general queries, even help kids with homework assistance sometimes.
Really? Homework help.
Yeah. And apparently, according to Dataforce, these chatbots have boosted customer engagement by 40%.
5%.
45%.
Wow. Okay, so libraries are really leaning into this. They're becoming these like active, digitally enhanced learning hubs.
Precisely. It's a fantastic way for these vital community places to evolve and, stay super relevant.
That's great to hear. All right, let's move into the creative fields.
Yeah.
Art, music, writing. This feels maybe a little more intuitive for AI, but I suspect the reality is still pretty surprising.
I think so. What's really interesting here, I think, is how AI is shifting. It's not just a tool anymore. It's starting to feel more like a collaborator.
A collaborator. Okay, tell me more. Let's start with art.
Right. So our source from CloudX Lab blog had a good overview of the different AI techniques artists are using now.
Okay, break it down for us. What's in the AI artist's toolkit?
Well, one big one is GANs, generative adversarial networks.
Okay, sounds complex.
The basic idea is you have two AIs competing. One tries to create realistic images, the generator. The other, the discriminator, tries to tell if the image is real or AI made.
Ah, like a competition.
Exactly. And through this sort of back and forth, they get incredibly good at generating unique, often really complex art. Things like StyleAgain, ArtBreeder,
Yeah.
those use GANs.
Huh. Okay, what else?
Then there's neural style transfer. You've probably seen apps like DeepArt or Prisma. They let you take the style of one painting, like Van Gogh, and apply it to your photo.
Oh yeah, I've played with those. That's AI.
Yep. And then you have diffusion models, tools like Stable Diffusion, DLE. They work differently, kind of starting with noise and refining it step by step into an image based on a prompt.
Right. DLE, Midjourney, those
But
are everywhere now.
exactly. Plus other methods like VAEs, CLIP, which helps models understand image-text connections, and even reinforcement learning. It's a whole suite of tools.
A powerful toolkit indeed. Are we seeing this stuff in the real art world?
Oh, absolutely. Remember that portrait of Edmund de Bellamy?
Yeah.
Created by, again,
Vaguely, yeah.
it sold at auction for like $432,500.
Oh, okay.
And artists like Raifik Anadol are using AI to create these huge, stunning data sculptures. Even BMW used AI for some of their art cars.
So it's really making waves from auction houses to museums to car design. What about music?
Similar story, really. AI is getting good at analyzing musical patterns, melody, harmony, rhythm, and then generating completely new pieces.
In any style.
Pretty much. OpenAI has a model called MuseNet that can blend genres, create pieces in the style of famous composers. It's pretty versatile.
So AI could write background music for a film or make a personalized playlist.
Definitely. CloudX Lab blog mentioned film scoring, remixing, music education, personalized music, all sorts of applications. The techniques range from things like LSTMs and transformer sequence modeling to GANs, again, like MuseGAN, and specialized audio synthesis like WaveNet.
It sounds like it's becoming a real creative partner for musicians then, opening doors rather than just, replacing humans.
That seems to be the feeling, yeah. Augmenting creativity, offering new possibilities.
Okay, and writing, storytelling. This feels very current with things like ChatGPT.
Absolutely. AI's ability to understand and generate human language has just exploded recently. CloudX Lab highlighted the key NLP techniques, natural language processing.
Like text generation.
Exactly, using models like GPT, BERT, transformers, but also understanding the meaning of text semantic understanding and creating dialogue systems. Behind the scenes, you've got machine learning, knowledge graphs, generative models, lots going on.
And the tools we see are things like ChatGPT, maybe Pseudowrite for fiction, Jasper for marketing.
Precisely those kinds of tools. They're being used for, well, everything. Content marketing, helping novelists, even journalism. The Washington Post had an AI called Heliograph writing short news reports.
Heliograph, right. I remember that.
And things like Grammarly for writing assistants, or even Netflix using AI to analyze scripts.
Script analysis, huh?
Yeah. The overall idea seems to be, again, augmentation. Let AI handle some of the routine stuff, freeing up human writers for the more creative, innovative, personalized parts.
So across the creative board,
Yeah.
art, music writing, it's less about replacement, more about partnership, new possibilities.
That definitely seems to be the dominant theme from the sources, yes. Unlocking potential.
Okay, let's shift again. This one feels potentially
Yeah.
huge. AI solving scientific mysteries.
Yeah, this is where you really see the potential for AI to just accelerate discovery at an incredible rate.
Give me an example.
Okay, so NDTV reported on this case. Apparently, AI solved a really complex, super big mystery in just 48 hours.
48 hours?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Something that apparently really shocked the scientists involved. It just highlights how AI can process absolutely massive data sets and spot connections, patterns that humans might just miss or take way, way longer to find.
That is mind-blowing. How did it, I mean, what kind of analysis?
The specifics weren't fully detailed in that piece, but it points to AI's power in, sifting through complexity,
Yeah.
finding the needle in the haystack, but like a million haystacks.
Right.
And Microsoft News talked about this too. Microsoft Research has this AI system, AI2BMD, for protein simulation. It's massively speeding up drug discovery.
Protein simulation.
Yeah.
So understanding how diseases work at a molecular level and finding drugs to target them.
Exactly that. It's helping scientists design and test potential new medicines much, much faster.
So AI isn't just, making art or music. It's genuinely tackling major health challenges.
That's the idea. Ashley Lawrence from Microsoft Research was quoted saying that in 2025, we should expect to see a real measurable impact from AI in addressing these big global problems, like developing life-saving drugs faster.
That's incredibly hopeful. A powerful prospect indeed.
Yeah.
Now, this rapid progress, it also brings up how fast AI capabilities are just expanding, almost faster than we can keep track of, maybe.
That's a really key point, and something the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace Source really dug into. For a long time, right, we could point to things humans found easy, but AI struggled with.
Like recognizing a cat in a photo.
Yeah.
Or understanding basic speech.
Exactly. Image recognition, speech recognition, language understanding. These were hard for AI. But that's changing incredibly fast.
How fast?
Astonishingly fast. Carnegie points out that AI isn't just matching human performance on standard tests or benchmarks for these tasks anymore. In some cases, it's actually surpassing humans.
Surpassing humans on established tests.
Yeah. And what's maybe even more striking is how quickly AI hits human-level performance on new, harder benchmarks. Sometimes just a couple of years after the benchmark is even created. Super GLUE was an example they gave.
So we make a harder test, and AI catches up almost immediately.
It feels a bit like that sometimes. It really shows the acceleration curve we're on.
And it's not just formal benchmarks, is it? There are other signs, too.
Oh, definitely. Carnegie mentioned AI solving really complex math problems, answering expert-level science questions, even beating human experts on specific benchmarks like GPQA.
GPQA. Graduate-level science questions, right?
Exactly. And you hear anecdotes all the time, people challenging AI with tasks they think are impossible for it, and the AI just does it surprisingly quickly.
Yeah.
Plus, think about how fast generative AI got adopted compared to the PC or the internet. It's crazy fast. And the productivity boost people are seeing, coders, consultants, researchers.
And driverless taxis are actually, driving around in some cities now. That's pretty advanced AI vision in action.
It absolutely is. It feels like we're constantly recalibrating our expectations of what AI can do.
It's not perfect, right? There are still things AI really struggles with. Things humans do easily.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. The 2025 AI Index report from Stanford HAI was really clear on this. There are still major gaps.
Like what?
Well, one big one is hallucinations.
Hallucinations. You mean AI making stuff up?
Essentially, yes. Generating answers that sound plausible but aren't based on facts or the input data. There are benchmarks now specifically to test this, like HaliVol and Truthful QA. AI still often struggles with reliability and, well, truthfulness.
So it can ace a science exam but then confidently tell you something completely wrong.
Exactly. And it can be brittle. Small changes in how you ask a question can sometimes throw it off completely. It often lacks robust common sense or real-world grounding.
What else?
Another big area highlighted was autonomous software engineering, basically getting AI to write and fix complex code reliably on its own. The main benchmark there, SWE Bench, showed really low initial performance for AI systems.
So AI coding assistants are helpful, but a fully autonomous AI programmer is still a way off.
It seems so. They're improving, refining the benchmark, creating harder ones like frontier math. AI gets better, but there are still fundamental challenges. Plus, there's growing focus now on assessing AI's potential for harm, deception, cybersecurity risks, things like that.
Right. So incredible progress, but still significant hurdles and risks to manage. It's not magic.
Definitely not magic. It's still very much a tool with limitations.
Okay, so given all this, the surprising applications, the rapid progress, the remaining challenges, what do our sources suggest about the future of AI? Where is this all heading?
Well, the broad consensus seems to be We're really just at the beginning of AI's impact on society. That came through in the YouTube transcript we saw from AI Power Wealth Lab and other reports, too.
So at the beginning, feels like it's already everywhere.
Relatively speaking, yeah. Dataforce even made a prediction about significant job creation by 2025 in new, unconventional fields, specifically because of AI.
Job creation. That's interesting. Usually the narrative is about job losses,
Right. It's a different perspective. And Microsoft News highlighted key trends we should expect.
such as
More capable, more useful AI models with better reasoning abilities. Think OpenAI's O1 model they mentioned, pushing boundaries. Also, more efficient, more sustainable AI, greener AI, basically. Microsoft's working on that.
better reasoning and more efficient.
Okay.
And also, more customization and control for users, letting you tailor AI tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot more precisely to your own needs and workflows.
Making it more of a personal assistant.
Kind of, yeah. And the expectation is definitely still strong that AI will keep accelerating science, helping tackle those big global challenges we talked about.
So the overarching theme is continued, maybe even accelerated, integration.
Yes, and finding that balance,
Yeah.
between the tech and human creativity, human oversight. Using AI as this incredibly powerful tool to enhance what we can do. Plus, a significant boost to business productivity and the global economy is widely expected.
A future with immense potential then, but clearly one that needs careful navigation. Absolutely. Responsible development is key.
So, wrapping this up, it's really clear from our deep dive that AI's influence is spreading much wider, much faster than many of us probably realize.
Yeah, from beekeeping, who knew,
Okay.
right up to the frontiers of scientific discovery. It's quite the spectrum.
And as we've seen, this incredibly rapid evolution brings amazing opportunities, but also some really complex challenges and ethical questions we need to grapple with.
Definitely. Transparency, fairness, privacy, making sure AI develops in a way that benefits everyone. It's crucial.
Which leads us to a final thought for you, our listener. Given AI's growing knack for tasks we once thought were uniquely human, creating art, solving complex problems, even understanding language, what does that mean for us? What will be the defining features of human intelligence, human creativity in the years ahead?
That's a big question.
It really is. Something to ponder as we all watch this technology continue to reshape our world. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.